Hi friends, Don Barar here with the July 2026 Real Estate Review and Market Forecast for Fountain Hills. Contrary to all the negative reporting in the mainstream media about the real estate market in the United States, Fountain Hills had an absolutely fabulous winter-spring selling season. Let's start by looking at the number of homes sold. For the month of June, 43 properties closed escrow. This was at the high end of my estimate between 35 and 45 units. But what about the year-to-date results versus last year? For the first half of 2025, 228 properties closed escrow. However, for the first half of 2026, 250 properties closed escrow. That means almost 10% more homes were sold in Fountain Hills versus last year. And as I showed last month, home prices were up a statistically relevant 13%. Fountain Hills way outperformed the rest of Arizona and the United States. Take that, mainstream media. If you wanted to sell your home, do not take my advice about the coming seller's market for Fountain Hills that I posted back in February and allowed yourself to be scared out of this market by reporting in the media. You really missed out. As we begin July, we have cleared out all the homes that went under contract in May and earlier. What we see now are homes that went under contract in June. Consequently, I'm predicting for July that close of escrows will be somewhere between 25 and 32 units. This is higher than the 19 units that closed escrow in 2025. My forecast is higher because many delayed their purchase decisions because of events in the Middle East. But since May, things have settled down and more are feeling safe about the economy. Still, as we head into the summer months, sales will decline in Fountain Hills. This happens every year as the normal cyclical nature of the Fountain Hills real estate market. Hey folks, no other realtor is going to give you a detailed statistical analysis in this kind of market forecast found here. If you like this kind of reporting, consider following me on Facebook and giving me a like. However, the way Facebook is organized, you might miss this report. Please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, Arizona Real Estate with Don Barar, where I not only post this monthly report, but also post my other real estate and wildlife videos. For June, median selling price was up significantly to $914,000, and median selling price per square foot also rose significantly to $373. These results are consistent with the seller's market that we experienced during the first half of 2026. To begin July, inventory was 128 units. This is 15% lower than last year's inventory, but 23% higher than the inventory levels of 2024. As we go further into the summer, I anticipate that inventory levels will decline. But when the fall arrives, inventory levels will again begin to rise. This is the natural cycle of inventory levels in Fountain Hills. The only thing that could distort these results is November's general election and the geopolitical climate. Let's look at the inventory turn rate. This is calculated by taking the current inventory of homes and dividing by the number of homes sold the previous month. Inventory turn rate is a terrific measure of determining whether it's a buyer's or a seller's market. A result greater than 6 months inventory is a buyer's market, and prices tend to fall. And less than 4 months inventory is a seller's market, and prices tend to rise. Anything between 4 and 6 months inventory is considered a neutral market in which neither buyers or sellers have the upper hand in negotiations, and prices tend to be stable. We begin July with an inventory turn rate of 3 months, a seller's market. The strong seller's market we experienced earlier this year was in part driven by low inventory because would-be sellers held their homes off the market for fear of not getting a good price. Going forward, what will happen will be determined by whether or not reluctant sellers decide to dip their toes and list their homes, and buyers deciding it's safe to make a purchase. Do not expect any help from the Federal Reserve, and it is not anticipated they will make any changes to interest rates at their July meeting. With expected inventory and sales levels, I forecast a neutral market for July, with the inventory turn rate in the range of 4 to 5 months. and prices will be stable. That's it for the July 2026 Fountain Hills Market Report. If you've not already done so, follow me on Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Arizona Real Estate with Don Barar. And I will be certain to get you more great real estate videos and where to go and what to do in the Valley of the Sun. Talk with you soon.